Hello everyone, how you doing today? So, here's my first video tutorial how I'm going to restore this beautiful snow globe. As you can see, no water. Got the glitter just kind of flying around in there. And it has a music box, but it's not working. Yep, you can wind it up, but it's stuck. So I'm going to try to get this all opened up and see what we can do to make this look like new again. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so starting off, the reason I use this big dish here is because one, made of rubber, it helps me keep the snow globe upside down and it doesn't slide around all over the place. But also, you just never know if the glass decides that it's going to break, and if it breaks inside here, no problem, not a big mess to clean up. So let's see, let's start off by getting this bottom cover taken off. Let's see here, I got a screwdriver. Sometimes these come right off. Sometimes you have to use a hair dryer because it's usually held on by some hot glue. Let me try a different screwdriver. A little easier to get in there. And it looks like in this case, it's just going to come right off. If I can get under there. And just kind of gently pry it open. I have a couple times broken these in half because I got a little too carried away and impatient. Let's see. Almost got it. Yep, there we go. Yep, perfect. As you can see, hot glue just kind of all over the place here. Let's see. This doesn't look too bad. A little bit of corrosion, but that shouldn't be a big issue. Let's see. This little, what I just kind of call a spindle or governor, when this spins, that's usually what gets it all going. It's winded up pretty good, so it's not going to go by itself. So I'm wondering, might need a little bit of WD-40. Let's try putting some down here, see if it'll start going. Sometimes it needs a little bit of time to get in there and a little bit of help. Let's see here. It looks like it may be getting a little looser. Just gotta take your time. Keep up. There we go. That was a pretty easy fix. Sometimes, though, I have had some that were so badly damaged that I had no choice but to get a whole new, either new music box with the same tune or a new mechanism, because you can remove these teeth here and this guy here, and then you could put it on a whole new mechanism. The hardest part is tuning it to make sure that it properly plays and doesn't sound like a poorly tuned piano. Alright, so we'll just put this aside for now, since that's fixed. And now we will go ahead and get started. It looks like I was thinking the stopper was gonna have some dry rot to it, but it turns out it just shifted, and that must be how the water escaped. So what I'm gonna do next, take some needle nose pliers, and I'm just gonna kind of go around and pull this up. Sometimes it's pretty easy, sometimes it can be a bit stubborn, and then sometimes, this has also happened to me where I got too carried away and the figurine inside the globe moved and hit the glass and shattered it. And that's never a fun situation to deal with, but nothing that can't be fixed. Let's see. This is coming up pretty well, though. almost got it. I just kind of go around and around, and then now we've got it loose right here. Just come right out. And we got these little cherubs here. Looks like they're all in good condition. Just got some dried on glitter. I'm going to try to save some of the glitter that is left behind in there. I'll just put in a little bit of water, swish it up into a cup. But I think first I'm going to rinse these off, and then I'm going to clean the inside of the glass, and then we will get started with the refilling process. I'll be right back in a moment. Alright, so it turns out that the glitter that was left inside I could not save. It was pretty filthy, and I noticed when I got it in some water that it was kind of moldy. Not really a big deal. I like to try to save the original glitter or snow if possible, but sometimes there's no way around that. So what I'm going to use, I have some glitter with me. I think what I'm going to use this time is a little bit of this champagne-like color, and maybe I need to find some kind of a color. I think that would go well with it. I guess I don't have pink. I thought I did. Well, no matter. This might actually just do just fine. Alright, so now we are ready. I've got the globe cleaned, almost dried off, and I've got the figurine. It's all set to go. A little bit of glitter I couldn't get off there, but that's no big deal. That won't affect anything. Alright, let's get to it here. This inside the bowl, kind of hold it up here. Let me move a little better so you can see. Just put it there. You just use some distilled water, and I only fill it up just over half, alright? And the reason being is when you do put the figurine inside, naturally the water's going to rise, and quite a few times I've put in way too much water and definitely overflow. And then the first thing I do, just take a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and I put just a tiny bit in there. You don't really need too much. And what that does, it helps kill any bacteria that may have snuck in there that can make the water change colors. And so next, this is totally optional, and same with the rubbing alcohol, but the reason I do this is because I prefer the snow or glitter to fall a little bit slower. And I actually got this idea from, I believe their name is Tony and Allie from Snowglobe Rescue. They have their own YouTube videos that they have posted where they fix and repair snow globes. So thank you to you guys, but I use the clear Elmer's glue like they do. And the reason being, glycerin can get pretty expensive, and I think this is just a little bit more of a economical / cheaper way to get the same results. But if you have preference to use glycerin, by all means. For me, I just kind of, it's like you're cooking, you just measure with your soul and then just put whatever in you think is necessary. And you might not be able to really see, but the water's kind of cloudy. Just take whatever you got, mix it up real good. It gets a little cloudier because of the alcohol and the glue. Keep going, and you can see it starts to dilute and clear up. And that looks pretty good to me. Okay. And so, now we are ready to go ahead and add snow or glitter, whatever you decide. I'm gonna just kind of go same route like you're adding spices to whatever dish you're making. Sometimes I go in a little heavy, sometimes I don't. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and give that a mix. Get the glitter all nice wet in there to kind of help it sink and settle to the bottom. That way you don't lose so much of it when you put the figurine in. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that looks pretty reasonable. Yeah, I think that'll do. Okay. So this is the kind of base, I don't think it really matters which way the figurine is supposed to go. So we'll just go ahead, set her in there, and then just kind of use your judgment. I think that'll do. Now this part can get really tricky sometimes because as you're putting this in, air is trying to escape and can cause some pressure, and a few times I have either pushed this all the way through and broke the glass, or it's just a big, massive struggle. But this one seems to be going back in pretty easily. Just try to keep a little bit of a hole open as you're pushing the stopper back in. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. I think that'll do. So, we got a big old air bubble in there. So there's a couple different ways, at least the only thing I could think of is to get a syringe in there and just kind of slowly fill it up. Otherwise, if you're comfortable with it, you can put the figurine in while this is submerged underwater, but I haven't really had the best of fortune doing that. So I usually go this route just because it's a little, to me, less risky. But anyway, neither here nor there. Let's go ahead. I'm going to fill in my syringe with some water. Oh, and another thing, I've seen on the Snowglobe Rescue YouTube page that they had submerged the Snowglobe itself underwater after they got the figurine inside, and I think they stuck a screwdriver in and just gently pulled the stopper back, or needle nose pliers, and then just kind of let the water naturally fill in on its own. I have done that a couple times and it seems to work, but for this video I'm just going to go in with the syringe, and maybe next one we'll do the underwater method. So we've got that in there. I'll try to make it so you guys can see a little better, and then just slowly start filling that in. Because if you go too fast, I've noticed a lot more bubbles come around and it makes it a little harder to get them all out. Sometimes you cannot get the bubble completely gone. I have learned that no matter how many times I've tried. And we just kind of get this to the top, and then you see it come out, and then just pull it out. Still got a few bubbles in there, but not bad. That looks actually very nice. So what I think I'm going to do, sometimes also, just because this has been out of water for so long, that air bubbles will naturally get trapped inside or around the figurine. So I think what I'll do is I'll let it sit for just a little while, kind of give it a shake here and there to try to get those bubbles to come out a little quicker, and then we can see if it's ready to go after that. Maybe we can get all the bubbles out. So stay tuned and I will show you later. Alright, so I've let it sit for a little bit over an hour. Seems like most of them have gathered up. So let's see what we can do. Let's see how much we can get out of there. Create opening here. Put that inside. And inject some more. I see some of them coming out. There we go. Yeah, I don't really see anything. Looks like I got it. Alright, that works. Oh, shoot. Figurine shifted just a little bit. I'm gonna have to fix that. That bubble will come back though, so I'll have to pull this back some more and try again. Let's see. No, right out. Down here. Alright, got it. Yeah, there's a couple tiny ones, but I think that'll be alright. Oh, do I have more? Yeah, they're still kind of gathering to the top. Let's give it a minute to sit. And let's dry this off some. Well, I'm not quite ready to give up on that, so let's try once more. Let's see if I can get them to come closer to the stopper. And did I get them? Look at that, I got them. Perfect. I don't see any bubbles. Alright, so now that we've got that all straight, pretty much ready to go ahead and seal it up. Well, shoot, there are some more coming up. No, that's okay. It'll work out. Dry it off. And dry off this inside a little bit. Because before you go in to seal this, if you've got water all over, the glue is not gonna properly seal it. Eventually, it just kind of bubbles up and creates a leak. Okay. I'm just gonna take a regular hot glue gun. Give me another glue stick in case I start to run out. And then we're just gonna kind of go all the way around. I am a little heavy on the glue just because I want to make sure that it's very well sealed, because you don't want any leaks coming out. Add another stick. There we go. And just let it cool for a little while, and you gotta watch out, see if there's any bubbles coming up. I learned this the hard way by accident. If you don't get rid of the bubbles and then put a little bit more glue over them, it can possibly create a leak. I found that out the hard way. I came home and discovered one of mine was leaking all over, and when I opened it, that was what I discovered it had done, was create a little passageway for the water to escape. Looks like it's pretty close to finish there. I don't see any bubbles to worry about. Okay. And so, the last thing we do is just put the cover back on. So, I figured out what's best to do. You don't have to put glue all the way around this, just in case you have to open it back up. It's just a little easier. You just put on a few drops. I usually do just 3 drops of glue. Sometimes a little more, but I think that this is probably best. Just put this on and give that a minute to cool down. And so I listened to the tune a couple of times, and normally the the name of the tune is on the bottom, but this one is not. But this one, to me, it sounds like that I Want to Buy the World a Coke song that was on that commercial from the 70s. I'll play it again here in a little bit and see what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. And looks like we're good. Okay. Let's set it up and see the final result. And here you have it, everybody. Looks good. Full of water, glitter. It's gonna have a little bit of an air bubble, but like I said, sometimes you just cannot win with those. So you probably notice these little specks going on inside the glass. That some of the glitter, it does happen once in a while where it will stick to the glass, you know, because I used some of that Elmer's glue. But rest assured, over time, they will fall down. They don't stay up there forever, at least from my experience. We'll give it a good shake in here, and then I will go ahead and wind up the tune. And what do you guys think this tune is? Let me know in the comments. Sounds like I Want to Buy the World a Coke song to me. But here you have it. A beautiful snow globe. Came to me with no water. Almost good as new again. Thank you all for watching.